Alright, WildCard did something stupid again. Are you surprised? Recently, Mr. Kennedy, who is the big top dog at Studio WildCard, went on Mr. Chemmy's podcast. And it's 33 minutes of like very dry talk that, you kind of have to be an industry insider to enjoy. Like you gotta beat off to pictures of graphs of your stock going up in order to enjoy this podcast. But he did say something pretty low IQ, even by my standards.
We're looking at some other things such as, maybe getting into blockchain, NFTs, cryptocurrency, game aspects of things that we might be doing with future projects that we're working on. I'm not saying that we're committed to that, but we're looking at a wide range of things that'll just drive our franchise and build it and make it much bigger and better.
I was about to let you go, but you mentioned...
Yep, that's right. He wants to make NFTs and cryptocurrencies of Ark. Now, I'm not really going to even bother talking about that because that's so fucking stupid, you don't need some random guy to explain it to you. What the fuck is there for me to add to the situation? It's fucking so stupid. What else is there to say? Well, actually, I can mention, they can't even make a cryptocurrency called Ark. That's already a fucking thing. But just so everybody knows, I have NFT'd this image, so, yeah, you should be paying me royalties by being allowed to look at it right about now. What this has shown, though, is WildCard is so expansionist with this new IP they have, it's pretty fucking brain dead, not gonna lie. Let's just go through the list. So, through their Chinese owners, they made PixArk and Ark Park, which were both massive fucking failures. At the time of me recording this, there is literally nobody playing Ark Park. 0. Its all-time peak was 70 people. As of filming this right now, there is 181 people in PixArk. That fits into 3 Ark servers. And then we have Atlas, which, let's call it what it is, it's a shitty spin-off of Ark that is currently chilling at 3,000 players. Just for reference, Ark is sitting at 33,000 at the time of recording this. Generally speaking, it's considered pretty shitty if out of 3 games, the best one has 10% of the current population of your previous one. And then of course we have the animated series that's coming out and Ark 2. Now, WildCard looked at their previous failures and thought, okay, what are we doing wrong? And then they realized that they did not have enough big Hollywood names in their game, because again, that is what made Ark originally popular, and they decided to slap on a lot of big fucking names onto Ark 2 and the Ark animated series. I mean, look at this list of the cast for Ark 2. A lot of these guys aren't even voice actors, so to me, it just feels like you're spending a lot more money to get someone who isn't as good of a voice actor as someone who actually fucking, does that for a living. And then, as you know, Ark 2 is going to be starring Vin Diesel, which has to be one of the most fucking out-of-touch things ever. Jesus Christ. Also, just really quickly, I pulled up this still just to, fucking sit here and you can look at it. But, I'm looking at it a little closer. His arm's really fucked up. His bicep is all the way down his arm, same with his tricep. And what's this fucking weird growth behind his arm? Is that his back? Is the dude shaped like a fucking camel? So we have all of these, and of course, 5 things coming out of one game, that's not enough. We also have to get to cryptocurrencies and NFTs, and, whatever other fucking scam we can get involved. As you can tell, this is a very unsustainable method. What we have is a house built upon a fucking toothpick. Ark was a hit success, but it very easily could have been a massive failure. There's about 50 different points in the development of the game where everything could have gone to shit and everybody could have left. And through sheer chance, the game has stuck around. But instead of slowly growing the franchise, getting a stable foundation first, they want to jump to doing all of this shit. And it's not like Ark has a very reliable fanbase. Everybody that plays this game has a love-hate relationship with it. And WildCard seems to be doing their level best to make that lean much further to hate than love. So Atlas, PixArk, and Ark Park were all soulless cash outs that were not particularly well funded. So they decide, okay, well, in order for the next thing to succeed, we really need to put a lot of money and we need to make it as mainstream and as corporate as possible. And what they're forgetting was that Ark wasn't a success because it had all this money and big names behind it. It was a success because the people making it genuinely seemed passionate about it. When they were making the game, they had about 25 fucking people working in the company. This was a passion project that happened to hit just the right chord to have millions of people buy it. I mean, when the game came out, it looked like this, and it had like fucking 10 dinos. It was a piece of shit. But people could tell that there was genuine love behind it. And now Ark 2 is basically the opposite. Fucking Vin Diesel's in here, bro. So at the end of the day, what you have is a company that doesn't even understand why it's doing so well, and instead invests all their money into shitty spin-offs and sequels that don't really even seem like the first game at all. Oh, and obviously cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Who could ever forget about the great opportunity that will certainly bring to the players of this game that has been ridiculously bugged for years on end? Let's worry about getting some cryptocurrencies in here, shall we? Literally, if they just took the money that they invested into making Ark Park a reality, to have it have literally 0 players, if instead of just, sinking their money into that, if they put that back into the game towards bug fixes, we would probably be running a game that doesn't have very many bugs at all. And WildCard is already on thin ice because they make their money in pretty shitty ways, to be honest. Instead of having like a skin store or something like that, where you can kind of get money for the game by people who want to just look cool, instead they release DLCs that are incredibly broken and are pretty mandatory to be able to compete. And, even one of them was released during when the game was in early access. This is like a very 2008 era kind of thing to have, of like, oh, if you want to make money, basically force people to buy DLCs, instead of just having skins, which are much more lucrative, and don't completely fucking ruin the experience. So basically what we have here is this beautiful cruise ship with all these great slides, and we got like pools, we got poker, slot machines, sexy ladies walking around in tight dresses. This place is pretty cool. But actually the captain and everybody on this ship is a fucking clown, right? And that beautiful pool that you would love to have a swim in, that shit has not been cleaned in weeks. At this point, it's green, it's nasty, it really should be taken care of. And every once in a while, the fucking cruise ship just like smashes into some random cliff. And then you have shit like Extinction, which just ruined PvP for the next couple of months. And then that fucking glitch when they added the Shadow Main Chibi that literally just wiped a bunch of Xbox players' saves. If that can't be described as like crashing into a cliff, I don't know what else to call it. So yeah, at the end of the day, just take comfort in the fact that possibly one of your favorite games of all time is being run by a clown show that doesn't understand why their game is popular, is wasting shit tons of money getting away from the main game on their second game, and also just wants to make money in one of the scummiest ways possible. So yeah, what a shit show. You know what isn't a shit show? My channel. And that is why you should go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks to Level 5 Tech Dodo and Dylan DeVille for being particularly epic. Level 5 Tech Dodo also says, everybody sign on the screen is a Bob.